Hey, what's up, everybody? Your favorite damage controller here to talk about Pokemon. Because you know how much I love to defend companies for failing business practices, and how I'm the white knight of Game Freak, and how I've been going around making videos saying how, Pokemon Sword and Shield have been the best games out ever. It's the best Pokemon experience ever, and I've never had anything to critique them on, and it's just been so perfect. Oh wait, I never said any of that. Oh, hold on. I did have a Twitter argument with a friend where I did definitely say a few things about how I personally enjoyed the game, but there's still lots of problems. And on said Twitter confrontation, it was on a post that I was critiquing the games because there were some things that I was not quite happy with. But that's neither here nor there. I am here to talk about what I think about the DLC that is coming out from this Nintendo Direct, or Pokemon Direct. And I know I said that whole thing because I know there's going to be some people here trying to see how much I damage control. Whatever, it is what it is. Don't care. My whole thing on the DLC, if you go back to my impressions video of Pokemon, I did say how with this I wanted them to keep the story going so that you could do more with, kind of like how they did Black and White 2. And it seems that they are doing something of this nature. They're not giving us the traditional third expansion game where you have to replay the same story and pay full price for the same experience with like an hour of extra content. This new expansion is actually 2 expansions that are gonna add 2 more, they say, larger wild areas. 2 more areas that are pretty much like the wild area that are supposed to be larger than the current wild area, and they're gonna have more to do, and there's extra story with both of the different expansions, and they're adding back extra Pokemon that have been cut out, and blah. They're doing what I actually wanted them to do, and they're doing it for $30 instead of you paying $60 for this with all the extra content in there. Now, one thing that people aren't really paying attention to when they're getting mad at Game Freak and saying that, they're selling you back the Pokemon. They're not selling you back the Pokemon. The Pokemon, the 200 that they're adding in, are actually being unlocked for everybody at the same time. And if you have other means to get those Pokemon, like Pokemon Home, and you play the other games, you can transfer those Pokemon in. You're good to go. You don't have to buy the DLC in order to get those Pokemon. If you want to catch them in Sword and Shield, yes, you will have to do that. But that's, once again, something that has happened before in older games, where you couldn't catch all the Pokemon in that game, but you could bring them in from other games. So I'm not understanding why this is any different than what they've done before. Sorry, I'm not overly negative. That's damage control. Sorry, let me shut up. I get the fact that people are upset because, let's be honest, the animations and stuff, and the reason that they said that they cut the Pokemon is kind of fraudulent. The animations aren't that good for the base moves. When the moves get up and you get to the more advanced moves, the animations are pretty good, but it could look better. I feel like what they did with the base game was kind of like a beta, if you will. They were testing out a lot of things. They got the wild area and everything working. And one thing I hate about the game itself is how it's so segmented, which I know I've said before. You got the routes that are traditional at the bottom, you got the wild area, then you got another set of routes that are really linear at the top again, and then there's extra wild area. And there's not really too much to do in the wild area. It's like you go, you walk around, you see the little dens where you can catch the Pokemon, the weather changes, and that's about it. And it was very lacking when it comes to exploration. There were no real caves, there were no dungeons. It was just a linear path from the beginning to the end with the wild area smack dab in the middle. What I'm hoping for this DLC out this idea of the wild area and make it more seamless. And from what I've seen, the dojo and the different areas in the new, I think it was the island, it's actually wide open. Hopefully it is done well, done intentionally, done, and it should be just an open world. They're saying that it's going to have more co-op opportunities as well. I hope that I can get in there with my friends and actually walk around and explore instead of seeing avatars that represent somebody who's really there in real time, but it's not really there. It's weird. I don't know. It's strange. It's very strange how this game is. Lots of ups, lots of downs. I just really want them to expand upon things. I really do. And I feel like it's a step in the right direction. And I am all for them releasing these two DLC packs. And for $30, which is half of the price of the full game, as opposed to giving us a full extra game that's $60. It's, I think that this is it's a step in the right direction. What I would hope in the future for whatever comes in the next generation of Pokemon, hopefully they will, instead of having such a bare bones experience in the beginning for the story and everything, they really flesh it out some more. But I feel like with this being their first true HD fully console experience, they really wanted to try some things out first. Did they have this stuff in the back burner, and could they have really held back and released it later and have this all in the game? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they could. I'm pretty sure they could. Is this the same practice as like different developers that they've done in the past and people have got on them about? Yep, absolutely it is. And I feel like if they do this next time and they have a better finished package with the base game, it wouldn't be as much of an issue. Because nobody was mad about Zelda and their DLC. Nobody was mad about Fire Emblem and its DLC. Most of the time when it comes to Nintendo doing their expansion passes, they give you good quality. But this is not just Nintendo, this is Game Freak, and this is their first time really doing this, so maybe they'll up that quality later on. The expansion pass looks good, it does, but we do need better quality to start with. I also hope that a few things that are fine-tuned with the expansion passes, they gotta fix this online situation, man. I do not like having to put in a 4-digit code to link up with somebody, because yes, you can put in a pretty unique code with the numbers, but let's be honest, when there's millions of people playing the game and you're trying to trade with somebody and then somebody's putting in a code at the same time, you're gonna get in there and you might link up with some randoms. I have put in such different codes, not 1234, not 1111, not stuff like that. I try to make it unique, but it's difficult to actually get it. You can't guarantee. Like it's good for streamers and people who want to interact with their audience, and if they want to do a trade or something while they're streaming, like, hey, I don't have to add you to my friends list. You can just put in this code. I put in this code. We get in, we trade, we're good to go. But you should have the option to pick your friends and do that as well. But, that's something I just want them to fix in the future. It's just too much of a hassle, especially when the games on the not Game Boy, but the 3DS had better online functionality than the Switch. Does the Switch's functionality work? Yeah, but it's not as seamless as it could be. So, the Wacom needs some tweaking. But that's really it. I think it's a step in the right direction, and I hope that Game Freak, I think they're using this time to get all of these other models and stuff into the game. I don't know what the process is. Maybe in the next gen they'll really up it and do a AAA, but let's not get our hopes up, because it's Game Freak and they know that Pokemon is going to sell to kids and people who are nostalgic and who have always loved Pokemon, like me. So if you don't like it, everybody, that's it. My little sarcasm is done. Y'all have a good day.